their ultimates forced out more often than not, and that seemed to be the name of game number 1. But game number 2 is what's coming our way. This will be our final game of the day, guys, as it is the final game in this 2-game set between Eager and Enemy. And, well, there's nothing left to do but to go into the picks and bans. If you'd be so kind, production, voila. There they are. Enemy taking the Order side, Eager on the Chaos side this time around. First ban to the side of Enemy. Or, yes, Enemy, I'm sorry.
Yes, Enemy. And picks and bans is going to be huge here. They're going to take out Athena. They do not want that flex pick coming out. We've seen them, Eager run in solo lane support, and obviously last game jungle. Taking out these flex picks is going to be key for them. Also, Eager just straight out picking them last game. This is going to be an important spot to see if Enemy can win this. I actually kind of need Enemy to win because I picked 50-50. Eager looks so clean, they're going to have a rough time. Well,
but they did still kind of have a little bit of a shaky early game, did Eager, in that last one,
and
as per usual.
They also had some nice early game fights, Enemy that was, and they just weren't able to get anything off of it.
So, Athena, banned out, Eager, taking the full time, and they'll ban Bologna. Okay, so sure, why not? She's still seeing, worthy of that ban position. That's a Cirquette. Yep. No question there. So, Sylvanas
still up on the board. Eager might have a plan to just leave Sylvanas open, basically forcing Enemy into it and then looking for 2 counter picks. Yeah. That could leave
the
Thor, Bacchus, a lot of mid-game gods that they seem to prioritize. Also Neith open as well.
Yeah, and by the same right, though, now by banning Sylvanas, it's kind of, will Enemy take the Neith? Will they take...
They almost always pick Thor in this spot. Yeah.
Thor, yeah.
Every time it's open, that's what they pick.
So Eager, I expect Neith here, for sure. For them.
I think that'd be a safe pick. It's also the flex pick. They're going to go Ymir, and Ymir was actually banned out against them last game, so this is a pick they 100% wanted. It's these flex picks. I mean, I can't harp enough on them. They just they grab these gods that they can put anywhere and then counter pick based on what the enemy does afterwards.
Ymir, Neith. Yeah, it's like we're back in beta.
Please no.
Take Ymir and Neith and yeah, do the thing. So Xbalanque, really the least late game focus god in out of all the hunters in Neith, and the most in Xbalanque
for sure.
So diametric opposite. So wouldn't be surprised to see
probably an Isis here. I think they're going to look for early game aggression. It was banned out last game. No, it's going to be a Bacchus.
Okay.
So they like the Bacchus pick.
Geb from Eager here probably. I just continue tanking up.
It could be that. Could also be a mid laner. I'm assuming it's going to be one of those two, or they could go.
Well, you're assuming Neith is not the mid laner.
That's true. I actually lost to Lassus in ranked. He killed me level 1 and zoned me out as Poseidon.
Well, see,
the least fun I've ever had in a game. It's going to be Poseidon, though.
Okay, yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, and this kind of worked, right? The Ymir, if the Ymir is jungle, it's going to work exactly how it did last time. Instead of blink taunt, it's going to be blink freeze into a Kraken.
It seems, it's kind of like it's kind of like Eager is just gonna go for this super burst oriented comp here.
I mean, it works.
What they have?
It's a couple carries that have a ton of burst, or guardians that have a lot of burst early that they can transition into these utility gods that have just high base numbers and a lot of team fight potential.
So what's up with Thor in this split so far? He's been really underwhelming.
I think a lot of teams know how to deal with him now.
Yeah.
And it's also, if you pick Thor, you have to be aggressive, and not a lot of teams are utilizing him. Like, even Team Solo Mid and Cloud9, who really were like big on Thor for Season 1, just haven't really made a ton of effect out of it. And Fenrir picked up for Team Eager here. That could be going to Aurora.
Yeah, it might be. And we did see him play it last week, or on Thursday, I'm sorry, and he did indicate, he was like, he hadn't been playing very much Fenrir. He said that the game that we saw him playing was like his third or fourth game on the new map as Fenrir.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been playing a lot of Sylvanas, Athena, really going traditional. You know, when you have Zatman in your lane, you kind of, it's hard to be aggressive. We really didn't see the Zatman Dare to Carry lane work out because they were so aggressive, but it turned bad for them. So Aurora really adopting the more protective Guardian like Shadow Q Zatman used to work out. It's going to be Bakasura, and Zhong picked up, so Zhong is going to have to look for an early Aegis because he does not have any escape potential if Poseidon decides to crack on him.
Yeah, now it's almost assuredly another tank from Eager here. Because Zhong, if you're tankier than him when he's trying to establish that front line with Bacchus, like, you're just not worried about it.
It's going to be rough because there's not too much to combo with Thor early on. I mean, Zhong he does a lot of damage, but it doesn't come out instantly. It's not a huge burst. It will be the Sobek, like you said, another tank. So we could see Fenrir support. It's likely to be a Ymir jungle, and I think Sobek solo here. Yeah,
I think you got it. Unless they want to run Fenrir into Bakasura in the solo lane, but it seems unlikely. It's not Anatoly styled either at all.
Sobek's going to have, I think, a much easier time versus the Bakasura early on.
Absolutely, no question. Yeah, Fenrir. But as we normally see with Fenrir, when he gets taken to solo lane, you're always kind of like, this matchup's not great, and then sometimes he just wins.
I mean, Fenrir just has this kill potential that Bakasura does. If it's really not, I'm outplaying the other person. It's you make one mistake, and Bakasura or Fenrir will kill you.
Right. Yeah, if he overextends with that regurgitate gun, get it. But it's game number 2 in a 2-game set, my friends. Enemy versus Eager. Eager did take down game number 1. This time, enemy will be the blue team, bottom side of the minimap, and the left side of your spectator UI. Awesome to the max, taking an assassin this time to the solo lane as Bakasura. Soulshiner in the jungle here as they look for the 3 camp start, perhaps, on the Thor. Gerbs in the mid lane as Zhong, Matty Pocket, and Vedium duoing as Bacchus and Xbalanque. Their opponents, once again, it's Eager. They won game number 1. Anatoly, their solo laner, is Sobek. Dare to care in the jungle as Ymir. Lassus reprising his role as Poseidon in the mid lane. And that leaves support Fenrir for a war, where he will be assisting Kabam in the dual lane as Neith.
Last game, I really wanted to see enemy be the aggressors. This time, I want them to look for counter engages. Team Eager here is likely going to look to abuse this Zhong, and as long as Derby has good positioning and good warding, he could bait out a lot here and have Soulshiner re-engage.
Sure, yeah, no problem. Soulshiner, hopefully he can get something more done on his Thor. I mean, he got first blood and then just had no presence.
He had 6k damage at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Aurora matching him and his support. It was pretty rough. No invade's coming out, but a tri-camp start once again for Eager over on that jungle solo side. This is what they really like to run. They like to run gods with high base damage and double hog, so they're able to get that early lead and then have Dare to Care rotate to mid lane before the first solo wave, and this allows him to basically safely steal the enemy's back camps.
Oh, here we go. They'll take their triple camp start. They're a little bit behind enemy with the Bakasura, just so efficient at taking down camps. Second hog comes out, and it'll be level 2 for both of these tanks as Anatoly makes his way to the solo lane, and Dare to Care, as you mentioned, making his way to the mid lane.
No, back camps. He's going to...
Left side back camps to split.
Oh, no. Dare to Care is going to cover the option, and Lassus doing back camp. So, Team Eager, they switch it up, it seems, every start.
Smart stuff from them. And maybe that's why we saw AFK going for some non-traditional openings as well, after, you know, kind of scrimming with these guys so much.
That's likely it. I don't know who came up with this strategy, but it's working. Dare to Care hitting
Anatoly probably, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean he's the huge one of the huge theory crafters.
One of the premier theory crafters in the scene, much less in this game.
It would be a little risky for them to steal those back camps. And you saw Dare to Care start to walk towards it, and then think Lassus wasn't in position to be able to follow him up there.
And a Thor, right? A Thor wall is so good against Ymir in the early game. If he can get a freeze here, Soulshiner going to take some considerable damage. He'll get the Zhong. Sure, going to take a couple volleys there, and only the front side tap coming out of that Mjolnir's attunement. So a win for Eager here as Dare to Care, a very similar role that he had last time.
Ton of poke.
That's huge, and Aurora cannot sustain this kind of poke.
Yeah, he's going to have to back up there here. He has Bluestone Pendant, so he's not tanky at all. He's also not getting any extra experience. Anatoly just looking to zone out awesome. He's not going to try and dive, because if he misses that, then he's a goner. But this is going to be big here. It's not he's not going to hit it this wave. Also, the next needs 2 waves to hit 5, but it's going to be key here if he can win this solo lane early.
Well, the hogging the back line seems to be the name of the game here. They'll get the freeze on a Vedium, the Glacial Strike as well. You can see Dare to Care waiting as long as possible to get that slow applied to see if perhaps Aurora could initiate again. But we're about 40 seconds away from the mid camp spawning up, where we will certainly see at least the first opportunity for an engagement. No first blood in this one yet. Enemy is down 1-0 here as Eager looks to close them out in 2 straight in this 2-game set. They want all the wins they can get in this spring split.
Lassus should hit 5 here, and that's going to be important. And he's going to look for solo lane?
Yeah, maybe. They're trying to make a plan to Baka. They really want to keep this Baka in pocket.
Yeah, we saw a 4-man rotation last game, and I think he's baiting it.
Yeah, they're baiting.
Yes, you see.
Yes, look at it, and it's going to work. Oh, we got to go back as Kraken comes out, and Awesome the Max, he beats it. Or no, he uses Regurgitate and leaps away just barely. Right side camps will be secured.
It's not going to turn out in their favor, and they are going to lose mid camps, just 1 set of them. But that was a great play. He watched... Oh, that's great. I want to watch that again. I want to see a replay of that. I know no kill happened, but just watch it. Oh, we're going to have a re-engage with Thor, though. Thor.
Soulshiner. He thinks better of it very, very quickly. And again, the first ultimate from Soulshiner, not getting much done.
No one was in position to follow up. He thought Lassus was low enough, but too much base health for him to deal with.
No dice. Yeah, that's tough. Soulshiner really not performing up to the standard I'm sure that he expects out of himself. Anatoly has great positioning in this one. They're going to find the freeze as well on a 2. This is huge as Elite came in from Aurora, but that recall Demons is going to force them back. The wall's there, but Jerby waddles away with that bonus protection.
Huge misplay from Dare to Care there. If he had held his freeze and allowed Jerby to be thrown more into his team, instead he froze him out. Sobek didn't get the full pluck off, and Jerby was closer to his tower, able to pop his ult and walk into the tower safely.
So still no first blood of this one into 4 minutes now, as you're right. A little bit of mechanical misplay there, but Aurora does have Ragnarok. They don't have the Kraken just yet. It'll be back up in 20 seconds, and you got to think that should be a kill if they can just put those 2 pieces together. Put the square peg in the square hole. Make it happen, boys.
One thing I'm surprised there is they were completely focusing Jerby, and Anatoly was actually in a prime spot to pluck out Soulshiner, whose hammer was down. He elected to still go on Jerby there, who is a little bit tankier because of his passive stacks that give him protections for every soul he absorbs from minions.
Yeah, but, you know, it makes sense, right? If they can't keep him down, here comes that combination, and this is most certainly a kill as Matty Pocket will go down. They'll pluck the support for first blood. Neith ultimate use on a Junkway as well. Not a lot of follow-up. Likely just off the mark. Probably looking
Aurora's
to secure
going to dive this.
Aurora's going to go in. Brutalize will secure this one. Aurora, can he walk out with the slow? 2 more shots from the tower. Not going to be in time. Anatoly now getting chomped by Bakasura. And he is going to go down to Soulshiner's last in-hand. It's a 2-for-1 across the board as Eager comes out a little bit ahead.
Lassus and Dare to Care, though, recognizing that Soulshiner is on the wrong side of the map, they're going to get a free stolen red buff and attack speed buff. So twice now in both games, Eager recognizing just very map aware, able to steal out those buffs when enemy is in bad positions.
Yeah, I assume it's Anatoly calling the shots with Zatman not there.
I don't know.
Maybe Lassus. I guess we really don't know. It's pure conjecture. But it seems whoever's calling them, it's looking really good for them. I mean, they've had better map movement than we've seen in a while. Perhaps
maybe it's Kabam. Maybe Zatman's done.
Yeah, maybe Zatman.
He's off the team.
Maybe that's it.
Enemy not too far behind though. They're down about 700 gold here. And Jerby, he has Aegis 1 online, but no bead, so we could see Aurora continue to look to put the pressure on him. Soulshiner, you see, investing a lot into that solo lane, try and get Awesome ahead. And I think that's going to be important, because I think if Awesome can get a kill or 2 here, and then look to rotate to these mid-game team fights, he should have more impact on Sobek until Sobek starts scaling with items.
Yeah, it's can Awesome to the max kind of pull out a little Cyclone spin. Find a kill in his lane, and then kind of rotate, find some kills at a Gold Fury engagement perhaps, and help his team out. Ymir, he's going to be just off the mark with that initiation. Jerby able to skirt around the wall. No blink yet coming out of the Ymir, saving that second active spot. He hadn't had too much trouble initiating, so... but would still probably like to see the blink come out of Ymir.
He has Traveler shoes too, so all this aggression he's had is just giving him more and more gold.
There it is.
Awesome! Gonna tower dive Anatoly. The question is, can Lassus rotate in time? No blink on Ymir, but he has that passive from Talaria boots. Oh, Neith ult's gonna finish it.
Yeah, that's a kill. And bye-bye.
Aurora, though, he's going to grab Soulshiner. Beads are forced here. Can they pick him up? Oh, the wall just off the mark. Dare to Care. A little bit of misplay.
That's okay. They keep Soulshiner out of this one. They keep Soulshiner out of this one for the moment, so that's okay. 3 kills to 2 in favor of Eager still. And they're pulling ahead in gold. They've got about the 1,000 gold advantage at 7 minutes. It's not huge, but they can expand upon it. One fight will easily open that up into the 3K range. And the Gold Fury, well, she's starting to get vulnerable as... the items are coming online. The Heartseeker's done. A little bit of attack speed coming out. Not the Aussie yet from the Neith, but once she has that complete with the tank presence that Eager has, they should be able to split the aggro around if they can just win a fight. Same goes for enemy, though. With the Diva's Gloves on Xbalanque, they have a pretty easy path. Thor's gone up. Soulshiner looking for the dunk, and it's going to be Beads away immediately. Kraken counter initiation is good from Lassus. And Soulshiner gets killed so hard the camera freaks out.
Yep, Jerby now, he's going to be slowed by lurking the waters, where Aurora's going to pick up Matty Pocket on the other side of the mid-camps. Great pluck right into the Whirlpool. One more auto. Lassus is going to find that kill. Awesome to the max, going to have to back off there. He has no Regurgitate available. He's not going to make any
Everything
plays.
Goes wrong at once. Bird, enemy there.
Yeah, across, like, they died. They died on the counter initiate from the Kraken, and then on the other side, we saw Matty Pocket get picked up as well, and then Team Eager able to pick up Gold Fury, now sitting in a solid 3K gold lead.
And they lost the 3 gods that really had any chance of kind of stalling that out or initiating out the Gold Fury. Thor, Junkway, Bacchus all off the board. It's free for them. But I'm looking at Jerbs. My man, 4 levels behind Lassus.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that bad.
It is bad.
He's been getting zoned out a lot. Maybe not full waves like you would typically see. You could look at the XP per minute. He's bottoming out next to Matty Pocket, who is also 0-2 as a support.
That's huge. I mean,
it's rough.
Zhong, he's a frontliner. He's a tanky mage frontliner. He needs to stay in these fights. He does damage over time, and well, Kraken's just going to erase him. All that extra base damage from the levels, and Aurora got a great angle here. He's spotted out by this ward, but he will take the better angle as well, and they're both going to try to recall away from this one, it looks like. Yeah, and that's the smart option, is Aurora had great positioning there, and will force them back as Thor has gone away.
Taking a look, and this is actually what I wanted Eager to do at the start. I said, they need to look to abuse Jerb, and you've seen Aurora always in this mid lane, and when they're not getting kills, they're zoning him out. Maybe not the full wave, but one at a time, and once again, Jerby's going to eat a crack, and he's going to pop his ult, but I don't even think he gets one ghost off.
Yeah, and it was an Aegis that he picked up, right? And it's a tier 1 Aegis, 70 seconds still remaining on that one. He'll take the beads as well, and I mean, he maybe just should have gotten the combat blink at this point. I mean...
But if he gets picked up by Aurora, what's he going to do? He's just going to die at that point, too.
I mean,
he needs 3 actives, to be honest, to deal with this team coming out of Eager.
Dare to care, he'll take the poke, Soul Shiner.
Oh, that's
nope,
bad.
No thanks. And one in hand for your trouble, and away Dare to care goes. Nothing cooking for that Thor. And just once again, it's... In this game, it doesn't feel like it's Soul Shiner's deficiency, but Thor not getting the pressure that they really want across the map, and that's just due to how far behind the mid laner is. Engagement at the left side camp, Soul Shiner trying to run around, buying time for Bakasura to make his way in, but Regurgitate already used. The freeze coming out from Kakudima and Ymir, piloted by Dare to care. The knock-up on Olassus, can they find their kill? They will indeed. Second kill of the game, and an important one for enemy. Yeah,
I'm actually surprised they were able to find a kill there. That looked like it could have turned bad. Soul Shiner, once again, hits his ultimate, almost turned on. If Olassus had ult there, it would have been poor, but great knowledge. They noticed that it was used on Jerby in the mid lane just before that fight happened.
It's a level advantage in favor in the dual lane as well of Eager, and now with Ragnarok coming out, Jerby forced to use his ultimate. Yeah, that late beads is going to come to hurt him, as Aurora perfectly times to brutalize to get in just underneath that Belch of the Gods and find the kill. And this is the problem when you play against Eager and they get up a game on you and they have the momentum. They have this player in Aurora that can play these very, very aggressive supports. He's pulled ahead now, and once he has his damage boots, he's a very, very troublesome god to deal with for until about the 15, 16, 17 minute mark and there.
I mean, Aurora is kind of jungling. I mean, you look at Dare to care, he's actually picked up the Traveler shoes. He's the one who's just looking to poke and get extra damage and set up. Aurora doing a ton of damage. Soulshine are going to eat that ult there. Dare to care, though, just trying to secure the buff. Aurora coming to zone out, but it may not just be zoning.
Yeah, brutalizes away as the Kraken comes out. That's a dead Soul Shiner. Taking a lot of damage is Vedium as well. The recall demon's coming out. It should be enough to pick up Lassus. Vedium getting credit for that kill, but they'll lose Jerby yet again. The freeze coming out. They'll lose their Hunter as Xanderkick gets credit for that one. He's stunned out by the Bacchus burp. A surrender vote coming out for enemy as they know they're falling behind in this one quickly.
Yeah. 5K gold in the lead is Eager, 7K in experience, and like you said, it's just been showing on the mid lane. Now 4 levels ahead is Lassus. Dare to care's even, but something I want to note too is they invested a lot on the Anatolian. Also, Max seems to have been getting the best of him, but he's still behind.
Yeah, he got a solo kill in the lane and still fell behind. And I think they're just Eager's forcing him out more and more often to try to save members of his team. Tier 1 on the left side will go in favor of Kabam. Eager take the first tower off of the map here, and he'll waltz away happy with that extra gold in his pocket as he's closing in on his boots with the Aussie Heartseeker combination already online.
Lassus baited out so much that last engagement, and it's just he's blinking in, putting himself in a bad spot, but getting off the huge Kraken, enemy all turns to him like they always do, and the rest of Eager's able to follow up, picking up return kills.
Yeah, but this one is Aurora's game so far for me. He's
all over the map.
Yeah, he's been kind of taking that dare to care position that we saw in last game in every engagement, all over the map, and setting plays up for his team across the board, involved in 7 of the 11 kills.
And only 4 involved for Dare to care, who's typically in every fight. I mean, he doesn't have Athena, so he doesn't have the global presence, but doing a lot. And once again, he's going to look to pressure Awesome to the max. Anatoli's going to hit the pluck. Is the blink available? Does he have blink? There it is.
Oh,
just gets the jump
off the mark. But mid camps will come back up. I don't think they can dive this one. They don't have any more CC. Left side mid camps look like they did go to enemy. Kraken was used, but it was off the mark. Unable to find the kill so far. On to the Zhong. Vedium does go down on that one. Lassus to fall as well as Thor moves forward. Aurora now forced to fall back. Right side lane.
That was a numbers game, and if the Kraken had hit, they might have been able to turn that. Aurora diving deep, meanwhile his carry was getting dove. So Soulshiner, though, looking to pick up Aurora. He knows his ult is down.
They're going to try to contest the mid camps as well. Kabam, does he see this one? He'll find the 2-man stun, it looks like there. Aurora may have left it. Burst damage coming out. He will go down. No, he didn't go down. He actually killed got the kill before he did. Jerby will fall as well to Kabam. Needs to hit that, well, really anything at this point. He's 5 seconds away from his next pin. The leap should be back up shortly from Bacchus. The in-hands doing a nice job, and he will take them. The backflip, I'm sorry, was available to secure that one if he needed as well, but feeling confident with Kabam. Credited for that kill. 15-6 now for Eager. Gold Fury is up.
Kabam is 6-0-3. He's been a part of as many kills, more kills than anyone else on Eager. So they're really utilizing World Weaver because that was one of the first team fights we've seen him in. Player damage, top 4, all Eager. Bakasura in that solo lane, topping it out for enemy. But once again, Soulshiner just not having the impact he needs to.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about at the very beginning of this set was if Kabam outperforms Vedium, what does that say about enemy?
And that just seems to be the case, right?
Yeah.
They're going to start up Gold Fury here. Jerby's rotating in, but he's alone. Vedium's rotating as well, but there's no support to try and contest this.
Yeah, not even close to being in time. Eager using that Ymir ultimate so very well in the mid game to set up that Gold Fury kill. Ooh, freeze just off of the mark there. As Soulshiner bails himself out of that sticky situation.
Great decision making too, to port to the early hammer knowing that the freeze would come out, that his stun didn't last long enough to be able to escape that if he wanted to get the full length of it.
Yeah, Soulshiner really having a much better game this time. He's keeping pace with the enemy jungler, but it's just out of control farm for Kabam at level 17. That's the problem here, is that while their jungler is having a decent game, the Bakasura is not beating Sobek, and the Hunter matchup and the mid lane matchup.
He's 1k gold over anyone on his own team.
Right.
And he's 2k on his enemy Hunter. Like, Kabam is just controlling this lane right now.
And it's 4 level advantages in 2 key positions. 4 level advantage in the Hunter role, 4 level advantage in the mid lane role.
And Jerby just hasn't been able to get anything going, right? And that's what if you pick an unsafe god like Zhong, you have to manage to stay even into this mid game, and just Aurora doing a great job of being in this lane always, just abusing Jerby and the fact that he's only has level 1 actives.
Zhong he fills really a very similar role to what we might in the future see out of Alpwash.
Okay.
You know, he's like unsafe, slow-oriented, kind of control-focused mage. But Zhong has all of those delicious base stats and protections to help him out.
Aurora walked over a ward. Last is actually going to find
tower.
Maddie Pocket, and Soulshiner are going to try and pick up Dare to Care, but Dare to Care is just autoing for 3 times the amount of damage, and now just kills across the map. Also to the max is going to jump, but Aurora reads it. He's going to wait. Anatoly tanking tower. I don't think there's anywhere for Awesome to go. Yeah, that's going to be a kill. Kill in the mid lane, kill in the dual lane, and then a kill in the solo lane, and a tower.
Yeah, and they'll pressure the tier 2 here as well to make the room for Lassus to aggress the tier 1 mid, as the Ymir and Neith aggress the tier 2 on the left side, splitting the map up very nicely as Eager, really forcing some hard rotations and hard decisions out of enemy. And it looks like they'll send 1 god to each lane, and in the mid lane, Jerbs, bad news for you, bud. You're getting closed in on. And down you go as the stun comes out, the bonus damage. That age is not going to be enough. Oh, maybe just for a moment. He lived, but
he doesn't have damage to even kill anyone. Double tap's going to tickle Anatoly. He's 4 levels ahead of Soulshiner. They're now 3, and it looks like they're not even going to try Fire Giant. Eager continuing to play safe and just look for small advantages across the map, and then just keep pushing them and pushing them. It's a slow bleed for enemy, now 10k behind.
Yeah, they've turned those small opportunities into that 10,000 gold advantage. And they're building the wing blades. They're building, you know, mid-game items to keep the pressure up, right? Wouldn't even be surprised to see the well, no, he'll have the Executioner online before any need for an Ick-Vial. The Aussie really taking place of that mid-game item for the Hunter, but you do see the Ick-Vial picked up onto Xbalanque. He will have a moment of being able to trade hits with Neith, but that base damage from the abilities will factor in now. It's level 19 for Kabam.
I'm trying to figure out what enemy can do, and it's going to revolve around Eager tower diving more than anything. They need to catch Eager getting too aggressive in a bad spot, and this could be the fight they need here. The teams are split. We see Jerby in the mid lane fighting here Lassus, but Lassus is just going to fight him one-on-one before Soulshiner's able to rotate in. His ult was available, so he elected not to use it seems, or thought it was a losing fight.
Well, Xbalanque ultimate's going to be used. They're going to try to find something here. Aurora trying to kite in and out of this fight. He will leap forward to move away from those darts. He's going to get closed in on. He's going to use Ragnarok, though, and with that bonus movement speed and the protections that he gets, in addition to CC immunity.
Intoxicate wasted there in that fight. That's bad. That's one of the huge ultimates that they're going to need to hit, along with the Thor ult. Really, the 2 team fighting ults that they need to look for return kills, both used, and Soulshiner are going to pour it in there onto Ymir. This could spell his end as Lassus rotates in as well.
Well, they're going to steal away that buff, it looks like. Lassus has no mana. He's going to recall. And I doubt that Eager's looking for much more. They may take Matty Pocket if they can get him, but they'll settle for the tier 2. Is that a sprint on Sobek? It is, as he does have it to deal with the Bakasura in lane. Ymir going to zone out the rest of the team as Jerby gets tossed back, and Aurora getting credit for that one.
Just pick after pick there. Surrender vote coming out from enemy. I don't know if they're ready to give this one up yet, but it's looking rough for them. Jerby sitting out 1-9-3. 5 more deaths than anyone else on his team. Matty Pocket staying equal in farm to him. Yeah, 252 seconds spent dead. Lassus right behind him, and Lassus has been going pretty deep with his blinks.
It's been a long time since we've seen someone kind of strangled out of a game as bad as this is here.
I mean, it's almost not, it's not really Jerby's fault. I mean, it's just the abuse, and it's actually is going to be an F6, so enemy not wanting to continue that fight at all.
Yeah, enemy, they'll give that one up to Eager, and honestly, it was looking like it was going to end that way anyway. All over but the song and the dance, really, for Eager. And well, they take 2 games straight away. Granted, this is, in theory, one of the easier matchups they will have this season, so it's important that they did win this one.
I think so, too. And really great picks coming out from Eager, controlling, it seems, all game. And they're picking a lot of these utility picks that work in early and mid-game. The Ymirs, the Sobeks, the Neiths, they're like, we're picking these gods, and you have no idea where they're going. How are you going to counterpick into us? Yeah,
and there's so many gods that are in the game right now that can fit that role.
Yes.
There's really kind of notably maybe 4 or 5 gods you could really play in 2+ roles. And they seem to draft them all the time. The Neith, Athena, and Ymir really kind of highlights there. But First Blood from this one, we'll take a look at that one again as... well, it was a game that Eager controlled all the way, and well, we were kind of like, I wonder when Ragnarok and Kraken's going to come out, and here it was. Matty Pocket takes a spill, and it's just as easy as that.
I mean, Matty Pocket's not going to have beads. There's really no way for him to fight that. They should have probably expected it coming soon, but not able to respond in time, it seems.
Yeah, it's always hard. I mean, Fenrir, his initiation range is so large. Ragnarok with that bonus movement speed, the leap as well can stun you out, so able to close the distance and get the kill. Nicely played, honestly, overall.
Yeah, Eager looking pretty strong here at the start of the summer split. We'll have to see as they move on and face some tougher opponents.
Yeah, let's take a look at the map control here. 66% control from Eager. That's about as much control as you'll see come out. 80% control of the mid camps. Obviously, the 100% control of the Gold Fury. But the speed camp is really the tail of this game.
And for really how big this lead was, I'm surprised that Gold Fury, there was only 2 taken. Typically, if you see these huge leads after 20-25 minutes, you're seeing 3 to 4 and a Fire Giant take it. It was just this slow bleed that they earned, you know, taking away all of the enemy buffs and just finding
it's one thing to say 86 or 75% on the power and speed buff, but in real terms, right, enemy had 2 red buffs and 1 orange buff that entire game.
That's
out of 15 that spawned or 16 that spawned.
There is a lot, and just Dare to Care and Aurora kind of switching roles almost. It almost seemed like Aurora was the carry there in game 2.
Right, yeah. Dare to Care did a nice job of, we'll kind of continuing in that path of I'll just continue to roam and set up initiation and use those Traveler's Boots. Let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow, guys, before we close the show down. Sunday's schedule coming your way. It's Upcoming Stars versus Epsilon, Dignitas and the Night's Watch. That is the final 2 games out of Europe, and then it's Cognitive Gaming versus Legion of Carrots. Another kind of test for another Challengers Cup team. Yeah,
all these, it seems 2 of the middle tier teams that we expect. If you would do power ranking coming in, it's like, all right, is Legion going to be that 4, 5, 6 team, or is COG going to be that team? And really determining factor there is going to be a huge final game for Sunday.
Yeah, we have a similar matchup to what we saw here, where it's Upcoming Stars, the analogous team to Enemy over in Europe, facing up against Epsilon, who was the analogous team to Eager, very dominant in the Challenge Cup. We'll see how they do, guys. That does it for the coverage today. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Bart. That was Kevin. Scott was on the call as well earlier today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here from Alpharetta, Georgia. It's the Smite Pro League Split 2, week number 1 finals on Sunday. We'll see you then, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.